call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Denise Gomes takes on Elise Reed this Saturday at UFC Vegas 106. And this is going to be a good scrap between these two ladies. I think this fight's closer than people are initially thinking in this one. I do think this is going to be primarily a stand-up fight, maybe a little bit of clinching, maybe one of them shoots some takedowns just to mix it up. Denise Gomes, she is a jiu-jitsu brown belt, has gone for submissions in her career. Doesn't have any submissions to her name. A lot of her finishes are by way of knockout, but seen her go for some Kimuras. Seen her get some really tight guillotine chokes against the likes of Eduarda Mora. So she is capable of doing so. Her bread and butter is on the feet, though. But she is 25 years old, 5'2", with a 63-inch reach. And taking on Elise Reed, who is 32, so 7 years older. She's 5'3", with a 63-inch reach. So she'll have a 1-inch height advantage. And reach will be even between these ladies. So Denise Gomes, coming off of a win over Carolina Kowalkiewicz by decision. Before that, a split decision win over Eduarda Mora. Lost to Angela Hill before that. Knocked out Yasmin Uruguay in 20 seconds before that one. Beat Bruna Brazil by KO. Lost to Luma Lukebumi. And beat Mairon Santos on the Contender Series to get into the UFC. So her two losses are to Luma Lukebumi and Angela Hill, which I can excuse those losses. Angela Hill, her record is, she doesn't have the best record, but she has a lot of split decisions that could have gone her way. She's 18-14, and she's really good. She's fought, the who's who of women's MMA. And Loma Lukebumi, probably one of the best female strikers we have in the UFC across all weight classes. So no shame in that. Has a lot of good wins, a lot of good experience. 2-fight winning streak heading into this one. Just fought back in November, so took about 6-7 months off. And getting back in there against Elise Reed, like I said, 7 years older, going to be about the same frame, about the same size. I would give the power advantage to Denise Gomes, though. Elise Reed coming off of a win over Jessica Penne, however you want to say it. Lost to Lupita Godinez by rear naked choke. Beat Jin Yufrey. Lost to Luma Lukebumi by rear naked choke, which isn't a good look considering Loma's primarily a striker. Beat Melissa Martinez, lost to Sam Hughes by elbows from mount. Beat Corey McKenna, lost to Ciara Eubanks. So, again, fought very high-level competition, only losing to really good fighters. Maybe not so much Ciara Eubanks, but, Sam Hughes, Loma Lukebumi, Lupita Godinez. These are really good fighters. And Lupita Godinez, she's very talented coming off that win recently over Julia Pilastri, and her herself only losing to top competition. So, Elise Reed, she 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo, started kickboxing at like age 15. Has a kind of that Taekwondo stance. She keeps her hands a little low, throws from the hip, which is kind of unorthodox, but really works for some people, just because fighters are usually, they're used to seeing punches flying from the shoulders, but when it comes from the hip and you're seeing a snappy jab coming from nowhere, it can tend to be even more successful than somebody who has an orthodox stance. But I worry sometimes about her defense with her hands down, especially if she's going into a fight with Gomes, who hits like a truck. But she's got really good leg kicks, kind of takes her time using her footwork and fighting on the back foot at times, but can push the pressure when she starts to get people's distance. She can start putting a pace on people and landing some really good strikes. We saw that in her last fight against Jessica Penne. Just started to get her timing together and just kind of really put it on and beat up Penne in that last fight. Denise Gomes, also very good striker, really good boxing, really good power, worked in the clinch very well in her last fight against Kowalkiewicz. Had her grappling tested against Eduarda Mora, but like I said, she's threatening with guillotines. Had a lot of success against Mora, who's just much bigger in that fight. I don't know how she makes that weight class, but she's just very aggressive, very mean. Had that very quick knockout over Yasmin Uruguay, where she was like a huge underdog in that fight and knocked her out in devastating passion. So I think this fight's really close. I think they're both talented strikers. I feel like, Denise Gomes, I think she gets this one done. She does have more power. She's just gritty. She's just mean. She throws with more bad intentions to get the other fighter out of there. I trust her to not get finished on the ground and get out grappled if it does go there. Whereas Elise Reed, I feel like if Denise Gomes wanted to take this to the ground, I feel like that would be a skill gap that she could take advantage of. Elise Reed, I feel like, you know, she's probably the better kicker, but I just don't think she's as tenacious and mean in there as Denise Gomes. I think Gomez, you know, she's much younger, 25 years old. I think she's going to be the stronger fighter in there, and just going to be more aggressive. I think she's going to be landing with more authority. I think she's going to be putting more volume out there and landing with more impact for the judges to judge in this one. I don't know if she gets Elise Reed out of there necessarily. I think she probably wins by decision, because usually Elise Reed, she's not getting finished on the feet as much as on the ground. She's either losing by submission or just getting put in a bad position she can't escape and getting TKO'd. We saw that in her fight with Eubanks and Sam Hughes. And I don't see Gomez necessarily being good enough on the ground to do that. I think she can catch submissions and has a decent enough ground game. I don't see her. I don't see her going for that or catching Elise Reed, anything like that. I think this is going to be primarily on the feet more than likely. I wouldn't be surprised if Denise Gomes, being the better clinch fighter and being the stronger, more aggressive opponent, getting her against the cage and kind of working her there. But I do think Denise Gomes gets this one done by decision. Thanks.